Hey guys, welcome back. Now that 2024 is underway, did you know that we now have over 400 million people involved in the crypto market? That's a lot of people regularly checking to see what is going on with prices, with their new coins and tokens. And a big question everyone wants to know is, how high will prices be going this year? Now, price predictions are notoriously difficult to do, especially in such volatile asset classes like crypto. However, it's still fun and useful to speculate on where prices could be going. And so in this video, we'll be looking at 3 different price prediction models. We have the cycle bottom chart, logarithmic regression chart, and we'll finish with stock to flow. We'll see what price predictions they're all giving. Are they all the same or do they differ? All to give us a rough idea of what might be coming our way this year. Okay, so first up, please note that no one knows 100% where prices will be going. This is just to give a rough idea and enjoy speculating on prices. Okay, so first prediction is going to come from this cycle bottom chart. And as many of you will know, this is one of my favorite charts in crypto, as it's everything you need on one chart. The big bull markets, the big bear markets, the crypto winters, and all based around the halving going through the middle here. This is cycle 1, cycle 2, cycle 3, and the red one, we've just been through the crash, the crypto spring of 2023, and this is where we're at right now, and only a few months away from the next halving. So to be able to get some price predictions, I am going to have to put on some assumptions myself, as this model isn't built for price predictions, just where it may top out by the end of the cycle. So let's use some logic and assumptions to try and get a price for this year. So cycle 1, we can see that this blew past the 200x mark, and it actually went to 300x. Then we get diminishing returns. This next cycle blew past the 100x mark from bottom to top. And then the last cycle gone got to 20x. So we can see there is distinct diminishing returns. So assumption 1 would be that it would be a fair assumption to say this next cycle will probably get a 10x from the cycle bottom. And based on that, it gives us a cycle top of $150,000 Bitcoin. And this is probably going to come in 2025. So working backwards then, I think a likely progression is that we do edge up towards the halving, and then we'll probably follow this orange line here where we get some nice runs, we get some big pullbacks, nice runs, big pullbacks. And this is where it'll diverge. Instead of going on these near vertical runs at the end where it went crazy high, 100x, I think it'll probably continue and it'll move sideways here with some pullbacks and likely peak out at this 10x. And so by the end of this year, for it to get to 150, I think the big figure that we're all going to be chasing this year, that'll be making the news headlines, is $100,000. This is going to be the key number for this year. And I also predict that this year is going to be the year of major FOMO. We're going to have the Bitcoin ETFs. We're going to have the halving. Prices are going to be going crazy. We'll be getting some major FOMO. Millions of people getting that horrible fear of missing out. And as it blows past the previous all-time highs around 65,000, the massive narrative for this year is going to be this $100,000, is my prediction. On to number 2. Next pricing model is a logarithmic regression chart. And the opposite of this is an exponential growth. So exponential growth is where something starts off very, very slowly, increases, and then goes vertical over time, a little bit like the US debt. Hashtag just saying. Logarithmic regression is the opposite. this tracks something that is shooting up in value very, very quickly at first, and then over time it peters off and then becomes a lot more stable, which is probably what's going to be happening and is happening with the crypto market until ultimately 10-20 years down the line, crypto is going to be as boring as stocks and bonds. So there's lots of different ways to plot a log regression chart. And on this one that is in front of us, what is it saying? Well, we've got all these different bands and then we've got the midpoint. So if we look at what this one is saying by the end of this year, 31st of December, we get these ranges, and the mid-range is going to be this yellow one here, and it's given us a range of $86,000 to $113,000. So this actually backs up exactly what I was thinking. We'll blow right past the previous all-time high, we'll get into the band range of around 90,000, and everyone is going to be chasing it past this $100,000 mark. And as I've said, I think it will briefly blast through and then we'll probably get quite a healthy pullback, breaking back below afterwards. And this is another log regression chart, so we can compare by a different team of analysts. So exactly the same thing, and we can see, does this one say the same thing? So again, looking at the end of this year, here are our ranges, and this time the one halfway is this green mark here, and it's just giving the number $120,000. So this was the top range from the last chart. So this pretty much says the same thing as the previous one. Again, backing up the thesis that this $100,000 mark is going to be a key level. So that's number 2. And third and final is stock to flow. So plan B and the stock to flow model, here it is. And again, this is one of my favorite charts as it really just helps put the crypto market in context around these clear 4-year cycles that happen around the halvings. So a nice simple model. And what is stock to flow saying? Well, here we are right now. We've got the halving coming up around here, and it's saying that in this next leg, which is going to be ending in 2025, the average price is going to be a huge $532,000. So clearly this is the most aggressive price prediction, that in just 2 years over 500,000. So we'll have to make an assumption to say, well, where is it going to be by the end of 2024? Well, plan B also said that in the next few months, this should work its way up to the average at the time of the halving, which is around $50,000 to $60,000 by the halving, which then just leaves another 9 months. So for me, price would have to get by at least 200,000, if not 300,000, to have a chance that 1 year later it blasts through 500,000. And remember, this is just an average. Really, there should be times where prices blast through the average and come back down, blast through the average and come back down. So it could be going to 600, 700,000. So for me and my skeptical brain is that by 2025, I really don't see it going to $500,000. And I personally will prefer to err on the side of caution. However, this is what the data is saying. So maybe you interpret this different. Now that 2024 is underway and we have over 400 million people involved in crypto, that's a lot of people who would love to know where prices are going next. In this video, we looked at 3 different price prediction models: the cycle bottom, logarithmic regression, and stock to flow. Cycle bottom was based on some assumptions put forward by myself, and my big guess for this year is that this year will be the year of major FOMO. And I think the $100,000 mark is going to be the big number that we're all chasing this year, and will probably temporarily break through. we had both log regression charts pretty much backing up the same thing, saying that 80,000 to 120,000 is going to be the range for this year, and it was Plan B and stock to flow that had the most aggressive price prediction, being that the cycle top will be over $500,000, meaning that this year Bitcoin really needs to get above 200,000 or more likely 300,000 to have a chance to get to the $500,000 mark. And so personally, I feel that one is the most unlikely. And finally, it's always easier to do price predictions off Bitcoin, as it is like the index for the crypto market. So many of the top altcoins will be doing 2 to 3 times that of Bitcoin, and I'm sure there'll be lots of low caps that will do 1000x, but it's impossible to do price predictions off those ones. So there you are, guys. Hope you enjoyed. Now you tell me, where do you think Bitcoin is going to be by the end of this year? Let me know below. However, just remember to get rid of 100% of the comment spam and trading bots that plague YouTube comments. We are trying out the new SuperThanks Commenting system. So to get your question or comment read and replied to, or just to say thanks, then use SuperThanks below. And for now, just to say, if you did enjoy anything in the video, then drop a like, and a big thank you to everyone who does, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.